My seatmate on the plane started gushing about her boyfriend, then showed me his photo. It was my husband of 12 years. Let me take you back to how this all started. I was flying back from Denver after a work conference, exhausted and just wanting to get home to Mark and the kids. The flight was packed, and I got stuck in a middle seat next to this bubbly blonde who looked about 10 years younger than me. She introduced herself as Brittany and immediately started chatting. "Sorry, I'm just so excited," she said, practically bouncing in her seat. "I'm flying to meet my boyfriend's family for the first time. We've been together 8 months and he's finally ready to introduce me to everyone." I smiled politely and put in my earbuds, but she kept talking. About how amazing he was, how he treated her like a princess, how he was going through a complicated situation but was handling it so maturely. Something about the way she said "complicated situation" made my stomach clench, but I brushed it off. "He's older than me," she continued, "but age is just a number, right? He's so sophisticated. Works in finance, has this beautiful house, drives a Tesla. And he's incredible with kids, he has 2 from a previous relationship." My blood went cold. Mark worked in finance. Mark drove a Tesla. Mark had 2 kids. "Want to see?" She was already pulling out her phone before I could answer. The photo filled her screen. Mark's face. My husband's face. Smiling at the camera in our kitchen, wearing the blue button-down I'd bought him for Christmas. The plane felt like it was spinning. My ears started ringing. I stared at that photo, hoping I was hallucinating, hoping the altitude was making me see things. "Isn't he gorgeous?" Brittany sighed dreamily. "His name's Mark. Mark Sullivan." I couldn't breathe. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. "Are you okay?" she asked, noticing my face had gone completely white. I managed to croak out, "Tell me about him." And she did. For the next hour, she told me everything. How they met at a coffee shop 8 months ago. How he'd told her he was separated and going through a difficult divorce. How he'd explained that he couldn't be public about their relationship yet because his crazy ex-wife might use it against him in court. Every word was a knife twisting in my chest. "He's been so patient with the whole situation," she said. "His ex is apparently really unstable and vindictive. She's trying to take half his assets and turn the kids against him. But he says once the divorce is final in a few months, we can be together openly." Divorce? What divorce? I was wearing my wedding ring. Our joint mortgage payment had come out of our account last week. She showed me more photos. Mark at restaurants I'd never been to. Mark on weekend trips I knew nothing about. Mark looking happier than I'd seen him look with me in years. "This weekend is huge," she whispered conspiratorially. "He's telling his family about me. His parents are flying in from Ohio. He said if it goes well, he might even propose soon." His parents lived in Ohio. They were indeed flying in this weekend, for what I thought was just a regular visit to see the grandkids. I excused myself and stumbled to the airplane bathroom. I stared at my reflection in that tiny mirror, gripping the sink until my knuckles went white. 12 years. 12 years of marriage, 2 children, a mortgage, joint bank accounts, family vacations, anniversary dinners. How long had this been going on? How many lies had he told? How many times had I kissed him hello while he was living this entire other life? When I returned to my seat, Brittany was texting someone, giggling softly. "Texting him?" I asked. "Yeah, he's picking me up from the airport. I can't wait for you to meet him actually, he's probably right outside baggage claim by now." My hand started shaking. Mark was supposed to pick me up. We'd confirmed it that morning. The plane landed. As we walked through the terminal, Brittany kept chattering about how nervous she was, how much this weekend meant to their future. I followed her in a daze, my luggage rolling behind me like I was sleepwalking. We reached baggage claim and there he was. My husband. Holding flowers and scanning the crowd with that same smile I'd fallen in love with 20 years ago. Brittany squealed and ran toward him. I watched him hug her, kiss her forehead, hand her those flowers. He looked so natural, so comfortable, so happy. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't a momentary lapse in judgment. This was a whole entire relationship. A whole entire life I knew nothing about. I stood there frozen until he finally saw me over Brittany's shoulder. The color drained from his face instantly. "Sarah," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "Wait," Brittany turned around, confused. "Do you two know each other?" I looked at this sweet girl who'd spent 3 hours unknowingly destroying my life, then at my husband who'd been destroying it deliberately for 8 months. "Yeah," I said, surprised by how steady my voice sounded. "He's my husband." The silence that followed was deafening. Brittany's face went through about 5 different emotions in 3 seconds. Mark looked like he might throw up. "You're what?" Brittany stammered. "My husband," I repeated, louder this time. "Father of my children. The man whose bed I share every night in the house we bought together 12 years ago. The man who's apparently been telling you he's getting divorced." Brittany turned to Mark, her eyes filling with tears. "You said you were separated. You said you were getting divorced." I can explain." Mark started, but I cut him off. "Don't." I looked at Brittany, this poor girl who was as much a victim as I was. "Honey, there's no divorce. There's no separation. I paid our joint credit card bill yesterday. The bill that probably includes all those romantic dinners you two have been having." Brittany's face crumpled. 8 months, she whispered. 8 months of lies. "Try 12 years, I said. Then I did something that surprised even me. I started laughing. Not happy laughter, the kind of hysterical laughter that comes when your entire life implodes in an airport baggage claim. "The family meeting this weekend," I said to Mark, still laughing. "Your parents are coming to meet your girlfriend. What exactly was your plan? Were you going to introduce her as the nanny?" Mark just stood there, opening and closing his mouth like a fish. Brittany wiped her eyes and looked at me with something like admiration. "How are you not screaming right now?" "Oh, I will be," I assured her. "But first, I have a question for both of you. Mark, where did you tell me you were last weekend when you went away with her?" "Golf trip with the guys," he mumbled. I turned to Brittany. "And where did you two go?" "That little bed and breakfast in Napa," she whispered. "Perfect. So now I know you're not just a cheater, you're a creative cheater." I pulled out my phone. "Smile, you too. I'm sure the divorce attorney will find this very interesting." That broke Mark out of his stupor. "Sarah, please, we can work this out. Don't do anything rash." "Rash?" I stared at him. "You've been living a double life for 8 months and I'm being rash?" Brittany stepped forward. "Ma'am, Sarah, I had no idea. I swear on my mother's grave, I thought he was single. Well, separated. I would never knowingly. I'm so sorry." Looking at her tear-streaked face, I believed her. This girl was a victim too. "I know you didn't know," I told her gently. "But now you do. What are you going to do about it?" She looked at Mark with disgust. "I'm getting an Uber home. Don't ever contact me again." As she walked away, Mark tried to follow her. "Brittany, wait, I can explain." "No," I said firmly. "You don't get to chase after your girlfriend while your wife is standing right here. You made your choice 8 months ago. Now live with the consequences." I called in.